Hey, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. I am here with Tiffany Williams, and she is a professional organizer, and she specializes in a really frustrating topic because there's a lot of misunderstanding about it, and that's ADHD and clutter.
Mm.
So please help me welcome Tiffany Williams.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
I know that you do a lot with seniors, which I love because there are a lot of seniors that are perfectly okay with the way everything is. And then all of a sudden they inherit their parents' home and they're like, whoa, I didn't expect that. And I don't want all of this other whole house full of things and their storage units and their sheds and their attics
Mhm,
and their garages and
mhm,
all the things like, whoa, I'm overwhelmed now.
mhm,
So tell me a little bit about working with seniors and what the difference between that and the life they were living when they were just like, okay, everything's fine.
mm.
Suddenly it's an urgency and we've got a whole bunch of stuff to move.
Sure. So sometimes it's health, like I was mentioning before, right? Maybe they're aging in place, but
Mm.
we need to have a safer environment for them. And if they are unable to deal with the excessive clutter at that time, we at least need to make the house safe for them. I've had multiple clients in the last year break a leg, break a hip. I've had multiple clients that have really injured themselves in their home. And so safety is number one, always the priority. Sometimes I work with clients who don't necessarily have safety issues, but don't want to leave 80 years worth of stuff behind for someone else to deal with. And so working side by side for the things that are important to them for sentimental reasons, for legacy reasons, and deciding that maybe some shorts that we had from 50 years ago we're probably not going to wear anymore. We can donate those to somewhere else. The third would be sometimes if you're living in independent living facility or you're living aging in place and you need to move to memory care or you need to move to an assisted living and we're going from a 3,000 square foot house down to a one bedroom apartment or a studio, really kind of mapping out like how big is that space, and that's really when you're going from such a large space to such a smaller space, that's where you really have to fine tune, not only is it something that I need or what is going to be best use in this smaller space. And we have to bring lots of outside resources in for that. If we need a mover, we need a somebody to help with donations, maybe we need an estate sale, maybe we need an auction house. Depending on the situation, we need all kinds of outside help for that because that can be a large undertaking, and having someone there to walk through with you while you can still make the decisions yourself and be able to control the things that you own is always best choice. Always.
And I love the fact that you said moving from a 3,000 square foot house down to a one bedroom apartment or an assisted living room,
Mhm.
because I think one of the interesting things is sometimes we don't think in terms of our situation changing.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, and I'm moving to a center that has a great big cafeteria where I will be eating all of my meals, it
Mhm.
makes getting rid of all of those kitchen supplies and those extra pots and pans that you haven't used in years anyway, letting those go to maybe a good home or a college student that is in need of starting and getting their first home up and running.
For
It
sure.
makes those decisions easier
Yep.
because like where I'm going next, I won't be needing this.
Right.
I
And
know that as my husband and I are downsizing,
mm,
I've had a great big weight room in my house.
ooh,
But the next place I'm going will have a weight center on site. And so then I
yep,
don't need all that weight equipment to take with
sure.
me. And so
And
it
it's
makes those decisions easier.
yeah. And it's the same for if you were a tinkerer and have lots of tools in the garage. We actually have a resource here that's a nonprofit that will take construction supplies. And so a lot of contractors will go there to buy all kinds of things to do remodeling, or first time home buyers will go to pick up some tile. And so to know, it always, I feel like most of the clients that I serve, it always feels better to know that it goes to someone else that can use it. And so it
Mhm.
does make that decision a little bit easier. I just always would say the more time that you have to do for a project like that, the better it is for everybody. Because even if you don't hire someone like me and you're asking for assistance from your family members, that it can take a long time and a lot of hours. And we don't necessarily know if everybody has 2 weeks of in vacation time to help with that. And so if
Mhm.
that is something that you're considering, the more time before something happens to you that you can make those kinds of decisions, the better it is for everybody, including the client, for sure.
Well, Tiffany, you are a wealth of information. Your ideas
Yeah.
are rock solid, and you've given us just a whole host of ideas and suggestions and tips and helpful words of wisdom. Where can our listeners go to find you?
So I am in Boise, Idaho. My company is Progress Idaho, and you can go to progressid.com, and that's where we are.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. This has been so fascinating.
Yes, yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. I
Yes.
appreciate it.